So specifically, if you guys look into the top left-hand corner, fourth quarter 2021, Singapore MAS CBDC presentation. Remember that whole episode we did about Draper and Singapore? Like goes directly into that. And if I pulled up a little article from like you guys will have to catch the whole entire show to really kind of get the whole depth of it, how Swift connects to this. But I'll just bring up this one article we spoke on. Yes. So
Okay, go ahead.
we went like way deep into this a couple episodes on Max's channel. Um, um, he and I also went into it on my channel. But Deutsche Bank joined Singapore Asset Tokenization Project, and one of the things that continuously came up in this video that we just watched was interoperability. And one of the things that they investigated for interoperability was XLR. And we connected XLR to Draper, to Stellar, to Swift. Okay. And they say here, and this is from sometime in 2024, Ripple announced a collaboration with XLR in February 2024, ultimately planning to tokenize real world assets on the XRP ledger, made interoperable through XLR. So it's right there. And this is like, they were talking about it in 2021, and we showed you guys how that went all the way back to 2021, even involved like the state of New York bank or something like that. So definitely check out that episode. But this brings it forward to Swift to me by connecting XLR to the bank of, or to the MAS, which is the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And that leads it to Swift for me. And I have one other thing I wanted to share here. So this is kind of all of it kind of in one thing. And this is from XX hash underscore 1133 underscore 1221 underscore 11. And basically it shows kind of Quant, everything kind of connecting into Quant down here, including all the stable coins. And one of the things that you'll notice is you'll notice the forum being attached to all these different things, as well as USDC, right? One of the things that Max showed you earlier today was the European Central Bank project, or the European Central Bank project. One of the things that kind of went under the radar kind of here recently is that Circle also brought out the digital euro here a couple weeks ago. So that's also there in what kind of Max brought you today, and he brought it to you from like 2019, where they were talking to I believe Quant. So here it is now that Circle's coming out with their own digital euro. They already have the USDC, and all of these things are plugged into XDC, Stellar, Ethereum, LCX, all the things we've been talking about tonight, right? Casper, which is backed by Tim Draper. He owns this project. Algorand, which we've seen that he worked with through Draper University. So this picture kind of gives a kind of real overview. We're not going to break it down the entire picture, but it just shows you, okay, using the overledger with stable coins and various different things connected to it, you can get to Stellar, you can get to, Ethereum, and all these different blockchains. And all of them seem to be backed by the forum, right? So that kind of goes into Swift, in that Swift connects to Stellar, and they connect to all the BRICS side. So with Swift, you can connect both of these ends of the pie. You can connect G7, which all of this is kind of G7 if you want to think of it, with Stellar and USDC, and then Swift connects all of kind of the BRICS side, in which you can kind of think of the BRICS side is having Tether more running its stablecoin issuance over there with Tether. So just to get back here, guys, remember, like today we kind of all talked about this one, and kind of Stellar and Quant, and this is like the G7, if you will, side of what's going to feed into Swift, and we know that it's going to feed into that through Stellar, through Tim Draper, and so we got this side. Now we're going to kind of go and move to the BRICS side. So imagine any of these things can feed into Swift, and I'm kind of show you that a little bit today. So if we go over to Metapath, one thing I want to kind of show you guys about Metapath is we know that Metapath is built with Swift technology, okay? And Metapath works already right now, and they show us some things that you can swap on Metapath right now. So unfortunately, you can't use Swift in the US, but you can use Metapath. But I just want to show you guys all the different blockchains that are on Metapath right now, right? And I still think they're not showing us everything because they don't show us Stellar on here, okay? Even though we know Swift is following Swift blockchain. Now we're talking about, not the other Swift. Swift blockchain, we know they're following Stellar. We know they're following everything from Velo to Afrium to, XLR. We know they're following Stellar. We know they're following Cosmos things like XLR. So we know they could probably use those too. So, but here, looking at all the different chains that are available on Metapath, remember, which is built with Swift technology, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, Tron, Polygon, Heco, OKX Chain, Arbitrum, Optimism, Avalanche, SUI, Phantom, ZK Sync Era, CFX, which is Conflux. They have a big deal with Chinese telecom company, Solana, Ethereum F, Ethereum W, Clayton, big in South Korea, ETC, Ethereum Classic, EOS EVM, KCC, Celo, XRP, DOT, Chronos, TT, which is Thunder Chain, Thundercore, excuse me, ORC, XDC, DRAC, Kava, which is Cosmos, GRC30, Core, Brain Chain, MTR, BTTC, HBP, HPB, AME, Gnosis, Breeze, Pulse Chain, Filecoin, FVM, which is Filecoin Virtual Machine, Base, Linea, Pego, Opt, BNC, which I believe is like Optimism BNB on the BNB chain, Say, Scroll, BRC20, MNT, which I think is Mantle, Apatos, Aleph, Blast, Area, Xlayer, Merlin, Cube, Ton, Manta. All those different networks are supported by Metapath, okay? Consequently, also supported by Swift, okay? Now we're going to go over and kind of look at this from the BRICS perspective, right? And we got 4 countries that are joining BRICS, okay? And come over on my channel to get some deeper research on this. I kind of mentioned 4 countries joining BRICS. Check out the video, but we're just going to do a little quick getting into this here, a little small getting into this here. So these 4 countries have applied to join BRICS: Zimbabwe, Thailand, Malaysia, and Colombia. Okay. Now, these are going to tie back to Stellar in that Thailand, uh, Velo is very big in Thailand. If you guys don't know Velo, it's on Stellar, but also we're going to tie in Colombia, Malaysia. Do I have X pulled up? Here, we'll just open this tab and we'll go to X here. So we're going to tie these to Stellar, and we're going to also tie these into Swift by showing you that Swift is following them, even though they don't say that they support Stellar. They're and you have to check out the channel, my channel, to kind of look at more information on that. But let's share this tab here and show you Afrium. If you guys are not familiar with Afrium, that's a coin on Stellar that's looking to revolutionize and bank the unbanked in Africa. Okay. Pull them up right quick.
Well, that
so
was
here we are with
quite the
Afrium. Right.
Right.
So Afrium. So we got if we look at who is following Afrium, okay. We see Swift blockchain. So we know this is built on Stellar. We can almost assume that they support them. But one of the things that we're going to go down and look at is make a mention to Zimbabwe. And if you guys aren't familiar, Zimbabwe recently launched a gold-backed currency. Here we are. It says, interesting. IMF calls Zimbabwe's gold-backed currency an important policy action. Okay. So right there, we got a little connection there via Afrium to Zimbabwe, which just joined BRICS. And, you know, we know that Afrium runs on Stellar, and we saw that Swift is following these guys. Okay. Now, another connection to one of these countries, if we go to, let me close that. We go back here and we go to Colombia. Okay. Colombia will find, if we go over here to Draper, VC firms, Draper Associates, we're going to go to a company called Lemon Cash. And we're going to open this up. And when it opens, we'll share this tab. So this is another exchange, another payment app that Draper owns. It says the #1 crypto app in Latin America. Okay. And I also assume that they'll probably be some way connected to Swift as well. So when you think about this and you think about Draper getting all the like arbitrage from all these different exchanges, right? I don't think that Swift's really going to need us. So I know a lot of things that people are mentioning is like, oh well, what about the advertisements and all of that? Like, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter like advertisements, because all of these different exchanges, all these different payment apps can go through Swift. Okay, and you can see this is the #1 cryptocurrency app in Latin America, and it will probably be connected to Swift with it being a Draper asset. Okay, so let me pull an article up really quick here.
Just real quick,
Sure.
on the quant outline, I just touched on it really briefly in regards to LACnet and then also LACchain. And so their presence. Really interesting to see this in regards to even Swift coin or Swift blockchain. You know it's a common thing here. They all position themselves for, strategically speaking, for these areas of the world, Latin America, um, in this case, Argentina, down in South America. I don't know. It's more than a coincidence.
Yes, indeed, and you see here it says limit cash and Argentinian based exchange. This is in July 26, 2021. But what you're going to notice who they're going to serve is Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Uruguay. Okay. So there's a BRICS connection there, but you can see they're serving a lot of, Latin America there. Now, I know we're talking BRICS, but if we come over here and look at Circle, they also say that they're coming to Latin America and that they're embracing. And the reason I point this out is because we saw that again in that mind map we showed you. We saw how Circle and Stellar and all those different Circle is a member of the forum, if you will, the World Economic Forum. So all the things that are connected to that, like Stellar, and we know Stellar is intimately connected with Circle and Coinbase, which Draper owns. All of these things can run through Swift, and it was pretty interesting. Somebody was mentioning this in my chat one day, or one of my viewers. They're saying, "Oh, I saw Coinbase delist all these coins, but they didn't delist Swift." And of course, they wouldn't delist Swift because it's a Draper asset, and Draper owns Coinbase, right?
Oh
So,
man, strategically position itself not to be rugged, if you will.
right, right. So, that's just only further proof of what type of position that Swift holds, right? And just in case you've never seen it before, if we go to their website, they tell you that they're a Draper Dragon asset. Okay, since 2017. Okay, so just very important to note there. And then if we go back here, we will now look at Malaysia. And remember, we're keeping it in this whole discussion of BRICS, right? So now we're looking at Malaysia. We talked about Thailand with Velo. We talked about Zimbabwe with Afrium. We talked about Colombia with Lemon Cash. Now we're going to talk about actually like province or country that was controlled by Singapore, and they're very close to Singapore. So when we talk about Malaysia, you can almost throw Singapore in there too. So all that information that we mentioned about XL also kind of applies when you talk about Malaysia, even though they're two different countries, they're close to one another. But if we come over here and take a look, and here is we've looked at this one before too, right? This is Boost VC. This is Adam Draper, Tim Draper's son, which, like, if you look up Tim Draper, it really only lists his daughter as like his child. But I assure you, this is his child, Adam Draper. Okay, so if you go look him up, you might not necessarily readily see Adam Draper, but this is his son. There's an interview out there where Adam Draper is interviewing his dad and Mark Andreessen. So apparently Mark Andreessen and Draper are actual boys. Okay. So two of the biggest like kind of crypto investors, even though people never really talk about Draper and they always or they talk about Mark Andreessen a lot. Draper's probably has more assets than him in the crypto space. But here you are. Now, if we go to their portfolio, what we're going to notice is 2 crypto exchanges in Singapore, or 2 in Singapore, 1 in Malaysia. One covers Malaysia as well. So let's see here. Oh, I passed them. Okay, Coin Haku. So buy and sell digital assets in Singapore and Malaysia. Okay, and then CoinNut, the most secure cryptocurrency exchange platform, Singapore. Okay, so if we go over here to Coin Haku, sometimes they'll let you open these up, sometimes they won't. Okay, this one actually does. So we'll go over here. You can see here they have the app licensed under the Payment Services Act of Singapore. But like they said, they're also in Malaysia as well. And like I told you guys before, Malaysia used to be, like a province or state of Singapore. So, and then let's go to CoinNut here, or CoinNut. I don't know how you'd say that.
I'm with you. Coin nut.
Yeah,
What a name.
that sounds right to me. And then if we share this guy, you can see secure crypto trading platform based in Singapore, Canada, and Switzerland. Of course, we know Switzerland. We were just talking about Switzerland. Their flag is red and white. It also happens to be really close. I think Davos, where the World Economic Forum is actually located in Switzerland, right? So there's a whole bunch of connections that you can say there and make there. But if you know, you know. So I kind of just wanted to hit you guys with that as far as the BRICS portion goes. And what I want to hit you guys with kind of in the future, if we come and share this tab, we see if we go look at the things that SWIFT supports, we'll see that along with supporting, of course, the stablecoin USDC, which they support in droves, they also very much support Tether, which seems to be at the moment the stablecoin of choice for BRICS, if you will. So they support Tether and they support DAI, and they support Tron's stablecoin, and they support Binance's stablecoin. So they support all the different stablecoins that you can use in these BRICS nations that happen to be kind of pegged to the dollar, if you will. So they support USDC, USDT, and they support those. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up to you, Max, is have you ever heard of a company called Trust Reserve?
No, I'm not going to even BS. It doesn't sound familiar to me.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
It's all right. So it's people from CoinNut calling you and be like, "CoinNut, shame on you!
Right,
Bring this order."
Right. Yeah. Exactly right.
Right.
So let's go. Okay, so let's go to X again, because this is really kind of a little weird here.
Can I just take a moment just to quickly inject something in regards to this, because you've been doing an excellent job on your covers in regards to, SWFTcoin, BRICS countries. So last week, give or take, I was talking about Uphold, and then they had this announcement, like a delisting of certain stable coins, and then
Yes.
direct reaction was you had at the same time you had Tether USDT, as we know, now backed by gold. So it's like, a lot of people reference USDT as like that's more China's influence. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
BRICS countries, it's like Brazil, Russia, India, China, right, and then South Africa. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of the C in BRICS. Okay, Tether being backed by gold. All of a sudden, that's like almost seems like it's an alignment. Now, hear me out. I know it's the tinfoil hat moment, right? Then you brought up the thing on that page just for a brief moment, talking about DAI. Now, last I checked, and again, I probably should do more of my own deep dive research on this, but DAI is India. Okay, wouldn't that be something? I'm just going to call it right now. I think that's the next step in the whole thing in regards to, when we talk about alignment, like on our Quant conversion tonight, was all this stuff in alignment, right? Well, if it's action reaction, to me, the next big one to make an announcement would be DAI to also be backed by gold. Now, if that happens, to me, it's like, interesting, because back to all your research of what you've been talking about, BRICS, Swift blockchain, and so on. So when I tell people in our community here and so on, like I talk about like Jasmine goes first because Japan, right? So in that deep dive, and for some of you guys, if you're wondering what am I talking about in regards to that, you just go to the video section. It's the deep dive that says QNT and Jasmine secrets revealed. And I point out with Japan, you have the whole thing of like, here's what's going on with my number cards, right? Digital identity, Japan. Okay. What's Quant doing in regards to digital identity, especially with Europe? We elaborated, gave an update in regards to that tonight. Okay. What's also going on with the BRICS countries? So it's like hitting all three sectors. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not telling what people to do. I've already set myself up for when Europe goes, there's your Q&T connection. Japan has already done its thing, and then the height of the bull run. So I'm already positioning, myself strategically from an investor point of view with Jasmine, for example. So glad I have some SWFTcoin too, because now it's like it's a global shift from all sorts of different areas. Am I too far off on the whole thing of DAI being the next one? Because if it is, and that's gold back, then damn. I mean, shout out to Brother RUE with the research. So
Yeah, let's share this tab. I had this one pulled up too. And it's funny you mentioned that because we just saw, right? We just saw Zimbabwe joining BRICS, and they just made a gold-backed currency, right? And just like you were saying, and this is from December 7th, 2022, Tether launches a offshore yuan pegged stablecoin on Tron. So if you scroll down further in the article, they also say Tether announced Monday that its other two stablecoins, Tether Gold and European Tether, EuroT, were listed on a crypto exchange Huobi as well. And Justin Sun owns a stake in Huobi. And Underdog Research Channel showed you guys how Huobi does have a relationship with Swift. So, and I also have another video that shows Swift tends to move when BRICS announces that they're going to do a blockchain. Whenever the BRICS channel on X announces that these guys are going, that the BRICS is going to do a blockchain, Swift ends up moving. Okay, so to me, it does say there is some connection there with Swift and BRICS. Okay, so definitely check out BRICS news on X. Okay, there's definitely a correlation there. So definitely check out my video on that. We won't go into how BRICS saying that they're going to make a blockchain is attached to Swift price. I have to check out my channel for that one, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of it. So yeah, where was this other one? There's one more thing I wanted to touch on here.
No worries.
Okay, yeah. So this is very weird. This is very weird. We're talking this company Trust Reserve. Okay, so the narrative is, and you kind of saw it with the one that Max played with Jeremy Hillar, right? Hillar of Circle. They kind of want to continue they kind of want to continue the whole narrative of Circle being USDC and that they're like America, and we don't want to associate with these China guys, right? But
That seems like the narrative to
very
me.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like the narrative, right? Now, there was, and this came out not like a couple years ago, right? So Circle and KuCoin were trying to do some digital yuan action, right? But that doesn't look good if you're going to try to keep up that narrative. Let me bring up that. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here's the article. KuCoin and Circle back Chinese yuan pegged stablecoin in a $10 million round. This is March 15th, 2023. Okay. So that can't work if you're going to be the USDC, right? The big old USDC, right? That's not going to fit. That's not going to work with the narrative, right? If this is what you're doing, if you're Circle, right? So these guys that were doing this with Circle were called Trust Reserve. Okay. And all of a sudden, they said that supposedly, oh, are we still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
I blinked out for a second. Are we still there? Can you hear me, Max?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me see if this is going to come up. It blinked off for a second. Okay, let me see. It would. It literally. Okay. Here it is. It's coming up. So May 31st, 2023, the team behind the offshore yuan, Hong Kong dollar stablecoins detained by Chinese police. So
Hold on a second. You
apparently
have to
now these
share that
guys
one. Sorry.
disappeared. Okay. Oh, is it being shared?
Nah, it's not showing that one. Showing the USD alternative. You probably need to see. There you go. You just need to share the tab for that one. Yeah. There you go. So now it's showing up. So you got a bad connection going on or something.
Uh-oh.
We may be losing RUE, but we'll work through it. Give me just a second.
I'm gonna wait until I think I'm heard. Max, if you're still there, I can't hear you. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
looks
still
like
here.
it's still being shared. Okay, all right. So so these guys just up and disappeared supposedly. Um okay, let me see if I can go back to that article. Okay, let me close some things down first. Okay. Okay, there we go. So they say they just disappeared. Okay, team behind that just disappeared, they say. Okay. Um Now the team, they say that the company that was behind this is called Trust Reserve. Here it is. The Trust Reserve team was taken on May 29th. The Chinese language news outlet reported. So wait, okay, so I'm gonna have to close this up because it just does not like me displaying that. And let me share something else here.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
now if we could
The last couple of days.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm just saying that the last few days I've been having problems on my side of town for Cox Communications ISP. Always working on it. Wonder if they're doing on something in regards to your side of the valley because you're also, you're East Valley. Anyway.
Yeah. So let me share this one. So Trust
All
Reserve.
right.
So they say revolutionizing fintech globally as an issuer of Hong Kong dollar and the offshore, basically, I think they call this like renminbi, which is basically the yuan, the other form of like the yuan. So only person that follows them that I know is Swift, and they haven't really posted since they supposedly disappeared. So
That's a nice catch.
are are they still are they still going? Who knows? I don't know. Are they is Tether or I mean is the circle still doing this with them and KuCoin? Who knows? Speculation on my part. To me, it was like, okay, this isn't going to play well if you're going to be the the United States digital dollar for you to go now put 10 million into part of the the digital yuan. So is it still happening? Who knows? I don't know. But this would connect Circle to a digital yuan. And they are followed by Swift. So who knows
RUE.
if anybody else
Yeah,
has any information on that.
I just got to inject something. So basically, I mean, that's a great catch. My thing is this. So if you want to expand on this further, which I'm sure you would, I have seen countless examples where you have a project that disappears from like X, but then they actively post on LinkedIn. And a perfect example is like a lot of different companies are connected, like the Stellar, especially Quant. I've told guys, I was like, it seems like if we want to find our institutional research, we have to go to like places like LinkedIn. So I wouldn't give up on it. Maybe you could find out if they really truly disappeared. I would highly suggest looking into LinkedIn. You may find what you're looking for there, because yeah, some of those examples. Sometimes they just don't want to post it on X because it could either be NDAs or they just realize there's too much. That's more of a social media platform. Some
Yep.
people say LinkedIn is, but in reality, LinkedIn is more for like here's what's going on with the organizations. There's really not a lot of that whole social media interaction, with retail at all. So
Yep. Yeah, and if we
You know,
go back to here, like what I was showing you guys before, and coincidentally, this is the CEO of Uphold who posted this this little document here. Um, you see here linking into the Overledger, this guy who posted this, he does still have Tether and the other stable coins there, right? Um, so I
hmm,
could still foresee those being linked into Quant, even though I don't think this side of the faction, this USDC side, would want you to think or believe that Tether and the rest of those stable coins would link in. But we just showed you Swift, which supports them all, right? So who knows, right? But I think that Swift is probably going to be more on um, the BRICS side of things. But again, they're owned by an American billionaire, and I really don't think it matters much to the billionaires. They just want to move their money wherever they want it right now, right? And this could be a very good tool to do it. And Tim Draper does openly say, my best investments are my investments in China. So he does openly say that. But then again, how many people know who Tim Draper is, right? When he's like kind of Kathy Wood, Warren Buffett, and Michael Saylor all rolled up into a one person. When you really think about his investments in Tesla, Bitcoin, and like all the other investments that he has, like you know, SpaceX for what that's worth. Um, you know, Tether, I'm sorry, Tesla, Hotmail, you know, you name it, right? So yeah. So I just wanted to kind of hit you guys with that and show you kind of the BRICS connection to Swift. And if you come over to my channel, I have like 2 different videos covering like a lot more information on this. One covering specifically the links to those BRICS, the 4 BRICS countries we mentioned, and one specifically going over kind of the connection to BRICS and Swift.
great research as usual. Do you have anything more you want to share? If not, I'm going to go ahead and plug your channel.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, it's been awesome research as usual from RUE. We're going to give him a plug for his channel. Let's go ahead and share this. So you have his channel, which is right here. Again, let's go ahead and full screen this. It is Black RUE Investing. RUE, like it says, Ruel Black, RUE Black, the Crypto RUE podcast. You can follow him at Black RUE on both X and also YouTube. And just giving you a heads up about his X. Here it is. And he's, been posting there a lot more. See, he's, retweeted this June 24th in regards to what the BRICS countries are doing. So very interesting to see some of this, see how it pans out and so on. We'll jump back to this as well. Any announcement you want to make in regards to your live show, videos that you're looking to do? Obviously, you're still looking to cover more of SWFTcoin.
Yeah, I want to do some more looking at BRICS and specifically kind of Tether and how that might relate, and some of the stuff that we especially came up with tonight, like that video you shared. Oh man, I definitely want to do some more looking in that. Like you just brought up that Revolut, and seeing that Tim Draper is an investor in that as well. That's just another exchange that I can add to his list. Man, that dude. Like how many more exchanges can we add to this guy's list? Especially considering, Robinhood that just had that news where Robinhood bought Bitstamp, and you were just saying that Revolut also added crypto.
Yeah, and a lot of it. And if anything, they bought 55,000 QNT tokens. Like, what the hell, man? Right? Yeah.
So it's like Draper's making these moves, and all of his companies are making these moves. So you don't even necessarily know it's attached to him, you know? So
Yeah, like
yeah,
kind of
but
like what Underdog was talking about. It's just like, there's the billionaires doing what they're doing with literally, I guess, trillions of dollars. And we're just getting crumbs of that.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Say goodbye to complicated setups and hello to Decent Wallet, the hassle-free solution to your digital currency needs. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.